saying things like, I don't know, it's kind of difficult to describe, just aren't going to cut it if you're a writer. And these types of statements aren't going to serve you or your reputation. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tara East. I'm a blogger, writer, scholar, and author of the mystery novel Every Time He Dies. In today's video, I want to talk about the emotional rewards that can come from writing. We're all very familiar with the idea of the starving artist, and I think we can all agree that most writers aren't known for rolling in money. And we've all heard these terrible statistics. For example, in Australia, the average earning wage of a writer is $12,900 a year. That being said, there are plenty of examples of writers out there and artists in general who are making a living from their work. Now, if you want to hear a really strong counter-argument to the whole idea of the starving artist, I really recommend that you grab a copy of Dean Wesley Smith's Killing the Top 10 Sacred Cows of Publishing. I've left a link in the description box below. While Dean Wesley Smith's argument is certainly very inspiring and very comforting on those dark days, I think we can all agree that there are a lot of writers out there that aren't making a living wage off their books. And not all writers want that. Some are quite happy for it to be a lucrative side gig, and some see it more as a form of expression. And let's be honest, writing novels isn't exactly a great way to get rich quick. And that's why I wanted to talk about what some of the other benefits of writing are, just so we could shift our focus a little bit. Of course, there are all kinds of ways that we can engage with writing, be it journaling, creative writing as in fiction, or non-fiction writing, be that memoir, biography, or even journalism. And obviously, these types of writing can cross over depending on if you're working on a hybrid text or if you're just trying to publish something that's a little experimental. While these categories of writing each have their own unique benefits, writing as a whole, all writing, shares a few essential boons. The way I see it, writing is essentially a transformational process, and this is especially true if you're working on a long-term project. But this transformation process can also occur through journaling and even during morning pages. The way I see it, there are 3 transformational layers that occur when you're writing a book. The first layer, the most basic, the foundational, might be certain skills that you need to develop, like how to write a sentence, how to write a better sentence, how to structure this project, etc. On the medium level, you're probably acquiring new knowledge because you're having to do research that is either supporting the fictional narrative or that's informing the argument that you're trying to construct. And now we've reached the top tier, maybe the best tier. And this is the sense of achievement. You've done something impossible. You said you were gonna do something, and then you actually did it. You actually followed through. You did this thing that was years in the making. That's a really big deal. Now, this same transformational process can also happen through other activities like journaling, as you may gain a deeper understanding of your own interior world, clarify your thoughts, and figure out what you really think about big world issues and personal issues too. Now, I'd also like to add that novel writing can have this same effect because fiction writing is the most magical of unicorns. Unless you're ghostwriting a book on statistics, in which case I feel very sorry for you and I hope you're getting paid a truckload of money, chances are you're going to be going through some kind of emotional response in the creation of this work and in producing this content. Now, why is this important? Well, basically, it's because when you engage with expressive writing, you will experience improvements in your mood, your well-being, and reduced stress levels, but only if you engage with this writing practice regularly. Now, I have previously blogged and vlogged about the benefits of journaling, so I'll leave some of those links in the description box below. But basically, there's been some pretty cool research around how journaling about your feelings and goals can actually lead to really practical results. In fact, one research investigation led by Laura King showed that the simple act of writing out your goals made you happier. Just writing them out made you happier. In that same vein, keeping a gratitude journal can also increase somebody's happiness as they become more aware of what is working in their life rather than fixating on the things that aren't working. Now, here's a fun fact. You are 40% more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. In one study led by Jane Dutton, it was discovered that people running really stressful fundraising activities actually became 29% more productive if they just wrote down and journaled about how they were feeling and how the work they were doing was actually benefiting the world. A regular writing practice can also improve your cognitive abilities and communication skills. In terms of emotional intelligence and the hard sciences, writing forces us to articulate complex ideas and feelings in a way so that others can understand us. Good writing happens when a writer is able to communicate clearly and concisely what it is they are trying to say. Brevity, word selection, cutting adverbs, and sentence structure are just some of the things we need to consider when we're writing. Saying things like, I don't know, it's kind of difficult to describe, just aren't going to cut it if you're a writer. And these types of statements aren't going to serve you or your reputation. Writing can also make you a better learner. If I'm researching a blog post or if I'm doing some research for an academic article, I don't just read one source and then scurry away to write my post. No, I actually do a hell of a lot more than that. Depending on how complex the topic is that I'm trying to unpack or how nuanced my argument is, I can interact with 3 to 50 different sources in order to write the content that I'm trying to produce. I will often read articles or journals online, I'll watch YouTube videos if that's relevant, or listen to podcasts. When I'm working on a major project, I'll often interview experts in their field, and that goes for both novel writing or for working on academic articles. Now, I have often talked about the fact that we need to create before we consume. We need to pour our energy out there before we take back in. But I do believe that there are times when you need to consume before you create. Now, why would I say this? Well, basically, if you have nothing to say, then you have nothing to write. And if you have nothing to write, it's because you haven't been taking in any new ideas. People talk about replenishing the creative well all the time, and that is for really good reason. Because it's true. The sources that inspire us and that gift us with new ideas may very well change over time, which is yet another reason why we must continue to read widely and expose ourselves to opinions and viewpoints that are different from our own. Creating work in a vacuum will lead to dull and unimaginative prose. Writing is a skill, one that we can develop and practice with intention and effort. Writing a good book will not guarantee you a truckload of money, but there are some benefits that are guaranteed, and frankly, they're probably longer lasting. Now, all that being said, the main reason why you need to make time for your writing is because you want to write. If you feel pulled to take up a morning pages practice or to finally finish that novel that's in the bottom drawer of your desk, there is a reason why. And the only way you're going to discover that reason is if you actually pull out that notebook, pull up that manuscript, and if you get back to work and do it one word at a time. Well, there you have it, guys. That's my take on the benefits of writing. Now, I would love to hear from you. What are some of the benefits or transformational experiences you have through your writing practice? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear all about it. Now, if you'd like even more writing advice, you can head to my website, taraeast.com. There are over 150 blogs on the website, so I'm sure there is something there in the archives that will pique your interest. Now, while you're there, I do recommend that you join my weekly email newsletter. In these newsletters, I often present a mini little blog that leads you to my greater blog, I also list up to 3 different resources that I've been enjoying that week, whether it be books, podcasts, articles, or a YouTube video. And all of this content is curated for you to support you in developing your writing and your publishing experience. I also include a sweet little section called 5 Tiny Things. When you join up for the newsletter, I'll also send you a free cheat sheet called the 7 Ways to Stay Motivated as a Writer. It's just a simple 1-pager that you can stick up anywhere you like so that you got some extra motivation in those times of need. And if you're looking for a new read, then I recommend that you check out my mystery novel, Every Time He Dies. It's available everywhere online and currently has 4.83 stars on Goodreads. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, of course. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some value out of this. And I'll see you again next week.